morning. It's Thursday, March 7th. Yeah, March 8th, I think, actually. Thursday, March 9th. I'm bugging. Yesterday was the 8th. It should be the 9th. Yesterday was the 8th. Yeah. Anyway. The last thing I was just talking to my son about was, we were just talking about ROTC. He was asking me about, because we always see the kids and the students walking in the uniform down here. And he asks us once in a while, but I remember the very first time he seen it, he asked, and I explained it to him. But then he asked again today. So I'm like, that's actually the thought that's on my mind, and I'll talk about that. I want to say, y'all join ROTC. Kids, join ROTC. Looking back on it, when I was in ROTC at Central High School in Newark, I'm trying to think. I really feel like I was in ROTC in my middle school too, but I don't. I feel like you know what the military type of training I had, or brotherhood training and Muslim brotherhood training, and even police force training, which I wasn't police force, but the church I went to, St. Matthew's AME, if you're still here, because a lot of people think I'm a police officer because they're stupid out here, but if you're still here, you want to know. The church I was at, St. Matthew's AME Church in Orange, New Jersey. AME stands for African Methodist Episcopal, with Reverend Jackson at the time, Reginald T. Jackson, Bishop Jackson now. And he's been a bishop over 10 years. But that church at the time, they'll have like Kwanzaa ceremonies and events for us all the time, and African events and just different things, like teaching us our history and rites of passage programs. So if you know anything about that, real militant for our people, for black people. The original militant, I was about to say militia, but military for us, and structure and us, teaching us family and value with each other, and the people around you, and listening to the men around you, and because basically that program was designed for people who, I remember that was before high school. That was designed for kids who wasn't listening to their mother. And there was other kids in there that was like, really, fighting all the time and bringing nonsense home to say mother. Me, I just wasn't contacting my mother, or just not reaching back out, or not coming back home. And there was other kids like that too. There was a lot of kids that talking back to her. And then those kids, they really made me feel bad, more so the ones that was making it seem like they'll hit their mother and all that stuff like that. Yeah, I wanted to be kind of cool with some of them kids too. But it's funny because those same men that was doing that in the church, some of them was like fraternity at a black college, HBCUs, or they was juvenile, juvie COs or something like that, or cops. Some of them dudes were literally current cops or ex-cops for the city of East Orange. So, yeah, and now looking back on it, I understand. I really appreciated it too, and now I appreciate it too, because just like how I was when I was in boot camp, same thing like when I was there with them, I was not weak. So it's like all the things I was doing, the punishments we were doing, everybody else might have been going through so much pain. I was going through pain too, but it wasn't that bad for me. Like it was tough. It hurt. The wall sits, the arm circles, the what else? Push-ups, 8 counts, all that. Burpees, same thing. Running for a long time, jogging in place, all those things. It hurt, but I mean, at the same time, I remember seeing kids literally crying next to me. And that's the same thing in boot camp. They'd be crying right next to you. So, but I never had to go through that. I never had to go through that. I just focused and endured. And what it was, I was sweating. I never cried during a workout or nothing like that. Never. Or getting beaten, nothing like that. Never, ever. It just didn't happen. And, it just didn't happen. Like, yeah, you're in pain, but you're able to do it. You're able to do it. It's just when you have other people that don't do it, they're more focused on them. So it's like, it's just, But whatever, I ain't talking about those kids at the time, or the adults in the military when I was at the time with them. But yeah, I've had those type of experiences. So once it's just so funny that when you get to ROTC at high school, which I was the Army one, and this was 2004 when I was in high school. We was in the original Central building. Now they're in the new building downtown 18th Street, or 18th Ave, I think. They're down there off of Irvin Turner and down there by Springfield, Southward. But ROTC is funny because the other kids in my class, which I was in middle school with, some of my best friends to this day, They what I was about to say about them? They joined the military too. I was the first one that joined the military. I had the soonest date, and I was the one that knew I was going to join in June, the last month of high school. Other kids said they was too, but they wasn't. They didn't tell me they was for sure. I knew for sure I was going, and then my other friends did. They showed up left like a few months later. Some of my good friends had like health issues and stuff like that, so they didn't have to go through all the way with it, or they had to get discharged, which that sucked, because I know they would have been great leaders and great commanders and different things like that in these leadership positions. They would have did really good. But I still got one guy in there, my man Jamal. He's a chief right now. He probably got like 6 more years to go. He's out. So shout out to him. Huge. Jamal is on fire. But yeah. So when we had those, you know, we just so happened to all join. I was teaching her, telling him, like, you know, they'll teach you how to wear your uniform. It was 1 day a week you're wearing your uniform. And ours was the dark green pants at the time, and a light green shirt, short sleeve shirt. I forget, we did have a name tag. I don't remember me having a rope or anything like that. I got a rope once I got in the military at my command. I was at the honor guard. But I'm trying to think, the shoes was mad shiny and super different than the ones you actually get in the military. The belt was a little about the same almost. It was just, I would tell him, like, yeah, you know, that teacher would make sure how your uniforms lined up, and the same day you're doing with uniform, at the same day you have drills. I remember. And I'm like, you know, we'll go over, you know, more drill stuff. And it's less like working out, less push-ups or less classroom activity. It's more like hands-on stuff, and there's a lot of fun in the uniform. But you got to wear it everywhere you go that whole day. So, and I'm like, all right, cool. And then what do you say? That's pretty much it. I'm like, yeah, you know. Then I tell them they teach them about credit. And that's how I give them a little bit about credit. Like, you want to keep your money, save your money. That's why I tell them every time I give them some money, just hold on to it. And I tell them, like, when we go to McDonald's or somewhere like that, I threw out McDonald's first, but Raising Cane's, if we're ever around it, that's why I threw that, because we're hardly never around them. But Raising Cane's or a Dollar Tree or something like that, he may want to get something, I'll get it for you. And it's like, just to show you that it's really not that important to get, and, you know, hold on to your money. And you want to spend the credit that way, and then you'll pay that back, and make sure you pay it back on time. Don't wait till it goes up. That goes against it. You may not think it affects you, but it does affect you. Because if you want something else later, you got the money to buy, but you want to use credit for it. So it's like, we'll go more and more into that. We are, and I've been telling him more and more, but it's just starting to add up because he's seeing it in the uniform, and there's more. I tell him that's the first time we ever heard anything like that, those type of things. So it was really cool. That's the first time we ever heard any of them like that. Or anything like that, but we still didn't know what it was, but we did know a little bit of entrepreneurship at the time, a little bit, but we still didn't know what that was though. So I appreciate that for ROTC. Basically, this video is gonna be join ROTC. It ain't gonna hurt y'all. I think you guys should join it. It ain't gonna hurt you. If you join the military, which it seems like they have a high successful rate of students join the military, and then in this state, West Virginia, they probably really would too. Go into the Navy. You don't gotta go into the Army, the Marines. You don't gotta go into any of that type of stuff. You go out there and get some combat experience too. You won't. I'm not saying that it's always gonna be bad and it's always gonna be good either. But get that full spectrum experience of the military you're going in. You sign up for it. You're worth every time and dollar that you're going out there. When you're in and out of it, value yourself. You will be valued, and treat yourself. And it's just it was a lot of fun. It was a lot of structure. That's one thing I really miss about it, because like, you come out here and there's places that just don't have no structure, and you're just trying to be structured when they have rules, but people don't follow those rules, and then you're the one doing it. It's just, the structure is so important, because it's like everybody's being held to that. And it's like, it's easy to do it like that because we have a bigger picture. We're on a huge ship. We need to all care for each other, pay attention to make sure every piece of equipment is working. That's my equipment, and your department, I need to make sure it's working so it saves all our lives. It's so simple. It's so simple. And it's like very good. It's a blessing to have that. But I appreciate y'all time always. I'm gonna get up out of here. I'm gonna go home and work out. Much love. Till tomorrow. It's Thursday. Next week is spring break too. So I won't be making no videos next week. Just keep working out. Got a little bigger for me.